Alright, so it's been about a month and a half. Last video I took, didn't have my valve cover on. I was waiting on my JMF billet intake manifold to get here. That's finally arrived. I've got that on with my 74mm S90 throttle body. Got my Magnus fuel rail on there, return line. Had to get a new throttle body elbow. I've upgraded fuel pressure regulators. This is a Magna fuel pressure regulator. Got a catch can in here, which I didn't have before. I was using a air water separator just for an air compressor. It was actually doing a good job, but just wanted to clean it up a little bit. Had to change out my spark plug wires. I like these better anyway. A guy named Dakota hooked me up with a set of these, and I have my coil pack bracket. I don't know how well you'll see it. Of course, I've got stock cam gears. Had a buddy out in Colorado who had some aftermarkets. They slipped, and had to replace all the valves. So I've been fine with just using stock ones ever since. So I've got my coil pack relocation. Probably can't see it, but it's right down in there. Anyway, my spark plug wires weren't reaching. Kind of ran out of money for the coil on plug setup, so had to go with the good old plugs and plug wires and stock coils. Is doing the job though. Finally got my coil levers put in there that I had in my last video. I hadn't yet put in. When I lowered the car down to the ground with the new wheels and slicks, it was right on the tires. Kind of hard to see right now because I got it up on all jack stands on all fours. But I've done a good bit. Last time I had the battery right in this location right here, but with the intake manifold. Probably could have squeezed in a small battery in here, but I don't like small batteries. They always die on me if I have to crank it too long. Got my power distribution block here. Got to clean this section up here. I got the relay for my launch control device right here, but I've got to find another place to mount a relay there up on the firewall so I don't have it just hanging. I'll get to it eventually, but anywho, on around to the car. Did my battery relocation right now. I've got my fuel modifications. My fitting here was too high, sticking way out top here. This here, for those asking, and I have had people asking, this is a rollover valve, so if I happen to get in an accident, the car flips over, fuel's not coming out. It's got a ball down in here that actually comes up and it shuts off the fuel, but it's at a vent. It vents any pressure in the meantime. This was my feed line, and I just capped it off because that was a -6. This is -8. This is going to be my return. This is my rollover valve. That's just a cap, and this right here is just simply going to go right here, which goes over to the other side of the fuel tank. And I just didn't want to have to cap that off, some ghetto rigging, put a bolt or something in it. So I'm just going to hook it back up to the vacuum line. It's not really going to do anything other than just sit there. So, but anyway, this is my cable for my battery relocation. Got it bolted down right there. Of course, there's those two clamps zip tied up underneath the carpet. I notched my console so the wire would fit up under there. So I get my console all the way down. It goes straight up under my console up underneath, hidden away neatly. I've got to clean all this area up right here, clean all the dirt out. Eventually I'm going to be painting the back of all this and making it look a little bit nicer. You see back here I've done my battery relocation. I got a bunch of wires and stuff I got to vacuum out. All the pieces from the wiring that are falling down, I got to vacuum it. I just haven't had a chance to clean it yet. So one of my fuses there, I think that's that's 100 amp, and I got a 250 amp here. Got my battery box, it's all nice and tight. Had to, I got my ground cable, 2 power wires. This one goes to my power distribution block, which goes to my fuses. And let's see, well, my fuses, my fuel pump, so on. This one goes straight to the alternator. So I've got a separate wire. I wanted thick wire going all the way up front. I don't want to have a loss in power. And yes, I did a all-wheel drive conversion of this car. Yes, I've cut here, but eventually I'm going to make some metal plates and cut this out, make it look nice and neat. I just haven't gotten there yet. I'm going to take all this stuff off where it's peeling off. I got to get something nice and neat to peel all that stuff off, and I'm going to clean that area up. Only so much I can do at a time. It's been a month and a half. I've been busting my butt on this thing trying to get it nice, so just got to have a little bit more time. Have my battery relocation switch, or not my battery relocation, my kill switch. So if I got in a wreck at the track, they could simply cut off the power from the back. I like that switch. It's only about 30 bucks or so, and pretty heavy duty. Looking at a Moroso Pep Boys, it was little stickers there that they had for the plate. I don't really particularly care for a little sticker, but anywho, nothing really special. Just the same old thing. I still have to wash off the number from the last time I was at the track, but we'll look up underneath so you guys can see what I did with my fuel system. Still not quite 100% done yet. This is my fuel pump. I went with the Magna Fuel. I've got to wire this section in. I'm going to drill 2 holes. One for the power, one for my ground. And I'm kind of close in here, so it's a little hard to see, but I had to make all the lines myself on my fittings with the correct length. This is the post filter or after the filter, and basically I just had to bolt my pump here. And if you can see, it's a little bit hard. I've got 2 sumps right up in here, one on that side of the tank where it's coming out, and one on this side if you can see it. I've got my drive shaft disconnected right now at the moment. Had to get the metal plate for my gas tank out of there that was covering it. I don't really need it anyway. That plastic is actually pretty thick for the gas tank, so I'm not too worried. I was gonna run these hoses here, put a clamp here, but I didn't like the thought of having it up under my axle if my axle broke. So hopefully this will work, because I have it going up and over the subframe and then coming out. There's my pre-filter. So basically, if you look, it's going from my gas tanks in the rear. Had to drill a hole and have my sump. I don't know of anybody that makes a 2G fuel cell right now, so I did my sump. I got it going over. A little hard to tell, but I got it going over my subframe. Sorry if my finger's getting in the way. I've got them wiring in right here, if you can see. Got one that's coming here, and the other one comes right here, and then they wind U-turn, follow this around, goes to my pre-filter there, which comes around to my fuel pump there, out to my after filter here, which then goes all the way back. So I've got dash 8 lines going all the way from the tank to the pump, from the pump to the filter, from the filter all the way back up to the rail, and then back to the tank, which will drain out on top. But that's basically where I'm at. I'm waiting on one filter for the top, so I can bolt that back down, and then be good to go. Hopefully firing it up probably tomorrow. Today's Sunday, so parts should get here tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be good to go. Looks like I'm gonna have to replace a boot there. I had a boot split, so hopefully not replace the axle. But anyway, that's about where I'm at. I'll post up more videos when I can. Hopefully be running. Hopefully racing in a couple of weeks. I guess we'll see. I've got a lot more to do, but yeah, I've been busting my butt on it, trying to get it going. So y'all stay tuned till then. Have a good one.